and welcome to episode 114 of the Boot Nerds podcast. JayMike, what's going on?
Look, man, it's been hot outside today. As you can see, I just came back from a shoot. I think it was around 35 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit, that's cold. Celsius outside. We played on AG, and my face, boiling. So it's nice to sit in here in the shade, but otherwise I'm pretty good. Denmark at the Euros. We got this. We're taking it home 92 all over again. Confidence is high. It's gonna suck when we go out, but I'm good, man. It's rocking.
It's a good path for Denmark.
It's a good path for Denmark. I fancy our chances against, give us Germany, give us England. I think, they're good teams, but so are we. So anything can happen.
Look, anything can happen. That's why you play the game, right?
That's why we play the game. Who are you rooting for?
I'm really struggling to have a pick. I'm really struggling.
Dude.
I'd like to see Croatia do it. But
what?
I don't foresee that happening.
Because of your heritage and all?
Yeah, I'm half Croatian, so
if Croatia goes out, then Denmark. Your boy.
That's what we want to see. I would love to see that. I'd love to see it, but a lot of people have been asking me what's my pick? Who do I think's going to take it all? And it's really
Croatia makes sense. Croatia makes sense. There's it's a good. I think it's a fair reason to root for them if you don't really have a team.
Yeah.
And so it's not like you guys have to support France or anything in Canada.
No. There's no laws that require you to support France.
Oh, okay. But I wouldn't be surprised if you actually had a must support France law. That would be kind of.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Okay.
But we're not supposed to talk about politics here.
No, that's a discussion for a different podcast, I guess. But today, Josh, we are talking about another thing going on at the Euros. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo and his Spark Positivity boots, which you don't have them, and I don't have them. They're supposed to arrive soon-ish. Apparently, at this moment in time, CR7 is the only man to have them. We have them at Unisport, somewhere else, taking photos. But hey, they're super elusive, it seems. Man has them. Man is scoring goals in them. Talk to me. What do you say? What was your first reaction?
Man is also out with them. It's a little bit.
That's not the narrative we're going for.
No, I know it's not, but it's kind of strange for Nike to wait until they're actually out of the tournament to release the boots.
Obviously they probably didn't count on Ronaldo going out, but it's also a little bit risky to just say,
super risky.
They know what could happen. They know they might face Belgium in the round of 16, right? Mm-hmm. Or they could have faced Denmark, in which case it would have been just as bad. They would have cracked out 4-0. They're out, so I can definitely go ahead and say that. But that's a little bit of a funny thing. And also the fact that I know we have all these tease periods and stuff, but the boots have been out for over a week now. And it just feels a little bit like by the time that the boots go on sale and you've seen them for so long, and Ronaldo's already out. Yes, he's set all these records in them and all that stuff. Are people as hyped as if they were asked, wow, tongue twister. Are people as hyped as they would be if they could buy them right away when he was actually wearing them? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I 100% understand. I think we've talked about this on the podcast a couple times. I don't understand the logic of any brand unveiling a product, getting people excited, and then saying, oh, you can't buy it. You have to wait a week or 2 weeks or however long it may be.
Do you remember the Magista back in 2014?
Yes.
They had, what was it, 3 months of just revealing and then 3 months of waiting until you can actually buy the boots. Sure. I think it was such a significant innovation, such a new big splash, probably the biggest the market has ever seen, that it was justified, right? But this is not a new Magista. This is a new colorway for CR7. Fair enough. It's a pretty cool colorway. I don't hate it. I actually think it looks all right. But, I mean, might have been a little bit too long. I've lost a little bit of the hype, at least.
Yeah. I like them. I think it's a really interesting colorway. They look like Nike's posted a few pictures on their Instagram, and they look almost like they're out of a video game. Like they have this almost animated look to them. It's the only thing that I can describe it as. But I think they're cool. I like, people always love to argue about the big swoosh versus little swoosh thing. They've given us both, which I've heard a lot of negativity around.
What?
I
Really?
don't mind it. Yeah, I've seen a lot of comments. People hate the little swoosh inside the big one, which I get it. I think maybe it would have looked a little bit cleaner without the little swoosh, but I kind of like that they did something different. And again, I think it's one of those colorways that's going to look a lot better in person because you're going to see the detail of the white mesh, the translucent top layer, and they have actually gone with some contrasting colors within the liner.
Look, I think it works, and you know that the way that they have those lightning pattern kind of makes it look like the swoosh, the tail of the swoosh, is a part of those lightning pattern tails. So it makes that small swoosh looks like the main swoosh, so to speak. I think it's a really good looking pair of boots, and they're different to what else we've seen from Nike in a long time. So they are a bit more special for Ronaldo. I quite like it, and it kind of reminds me of what they did back in the day in 2008, where he got those pine green Vapor 4s. That was it was only him wearing a very special pair of boots compared to the brown, white and blue brown back boots that everyone else wore.
Which I must say, those pine green Vapor 4s are one of my favorite unofficial Cristiano Ronaldo colorways ever.
Yeah,
like they've done so many remakes. That's one that needs a remake with the CR7 logo somewhere on it.
But the thing is that you can't really do it today because of that glossiness that the Tayshin upper had back in the day. I don't think you can do that today. It had that really shiny look to them. It was lovely. But I mean, I agree with you. And I also see what you're saying in the sense that it's coming out of video game. It is a little bit cartoony, but I think it works. And also the messaging behind it that he wants to pass on. It's not just about, oh, look at how good I am, or everything I've achieved, and that they've done in the past. And fair point, he's one of the best ever. But I like the fact that it's a little bit more, should we say, purpose-driven now? That he actually wants to pass on some of his positivity, his mentality, that he realizes that he is someone that people look up to. And okay, it's a pair of football boots, but the message in it is very, very nice. And then that he goes to achieve what he has in the boots, despite going out, you can only applaud him.
Yeah,
like he's one goal away from being the top international goal scorer ever. He's played in 5 tournaments. I think he's scored in 5 tournaments. Top goal scorer in the Euros ever. Has Messi done that? No. Haters will say that Messi haven't played the Euros, but I mean, then he's not the best.
Let's not have that.
Let's not go there.
Today.
Definitely not go there. Yeah.
You know what? I actually had somebody yesterday ask me, why are people always arguing about Ronaldo and Messi? Like, what is it? And they know nothing about the sport. And they're like, what is this argument all about? I'm like, people just cannot appreciate 2 players that are incredibly good at what they do, doing it at the same time. There's really, it's a silly debate in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like just enjoy what you're witnessing because you're probably never going to see it again.
Especially because we're not going to have them for that many years more. I mean, Ronaldo, he's 36 and he might play well into his 40s, but, like Zlatan is doing. But hey, let's appreciate it instead of just bickering over. Why is there rival? Why are you and me and everyone else mad about someone else having an opinion on who's better? It doesn't matter. You are not Messi or Ronaldo. Why this tribalism? I don't get it. Let's just appreciate them. Anyways, Josh, I was meaning to ask you a question. Out of this and El Retorno, which is the best signature boot for 2 of the GOATs for their respective tournaments?
I got to give it to the Messi boots just based on the nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
I love remakes, and I think it's such a cool callback. It's an unusual boot to see a visual remake of. And I don't know, not that Ronaldo's aren't super cool, but
not that they are super cool.
Not that they aren't.
Oh,
I just think,
aren't. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I just think that they're not on the level of Messi's boots. But it would be pretty cool because as it stands right now, Ronaldo is currently the top goal scorer in the Euros. It would be cool to see him win.
It would.
By the end of this.
Yeah.
Having not made it past the round of 16.
Patrick Schick doesn't score any against Denmark, so Ronaldo can kind of retain that title. Fingers crossed. He won't, definitely. I mean, we got Simon Kjær, so he won't. What a beast. Anyways, look, I agree. I think the Ronaldo boots are actually really cool, and I can't wait to see them in hand. Actually, I think they might look even better because of the intricacy of the Vapor Posit upper. I think there's a lot more to it than what just meets the eye when you see the photos. Really excited to see them, and it's just so many things going on, right? But El Retorno is just a home run, and I cannot wait to tell you guys more about the boot. Tech-wise and performance-wise and all that stuff, because it is so good. It is so good. So that for me takes the cake.
Yeah. Also, one last funny note on Ronaldo's boots here. They're kind of the colors of Coke. Just a little bit. Which,
Agua.
Isn't that crazy?
That
$4 billion their stock drops in 24 hours from that.
And it was only a couple of %, right? It was mad.
But still, so much power.
I mean, wow. For some guy just moving that, ridiculous. I mean, fair play. I thought it was quite funny. Yeah. But yeah, that's a good observation. Did you see the clip too? It's such a Josh observation, by the way.
It is. But then did you also see the clip of the Russian coach?
Yeah. Opening it.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm going to have some. I love that.
That is shithousery at the highest level. I loved it. Absolutely loved it, man. We're going to get a lot of heat for not having the boots. But we figured we wanted to talk about them while they're still, somewhat relevant. And... We'll show them to you in due course when, let's see who gets their hands on them first.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyways, Josh, we also have we have a lot of questions that we'll just go through. We have one from Joshua Rodriguez, seems to be your South American cousin. So is the Puma Future or the Ultra the better boot? What do you reckon? You don't have to go into some long explanation, but just two girls over drinks, go.
No, I think the Ultra is a more technically impressive football boot.
I agree.
If the measuring stick is objective performance characteristics, then I say the Ultra. But even when it comes to comfort, I'm going to say Ultra. I think the Ultra is just really impressive.
I agree with you, but the fact that the Ultra is so wide means that I'm going to go with the Futures. They've grown on me a lot. I really like them. The laser touches are amazing. And I just don't feel that the Ultras are, sharp enough and they're not sitting tight enough for me to enjoy them. I realize they're wildly comfortable. And, the fact that you like them, PWG, who has really wide foot, likes them, they're very accommodating. And you're right, from a technical perspective, they are extremely impressive. Also the weight. I mean... But for me, I have a slim foot. I really like what they're doing with the Future. It's a simple boot in terms of the construction. Yes, you have the fusion fit band, all that stuff. But compared to the Ultra, it's simple, but it just works. It's comfortable, feels nimble. I quite like it. I would go with that, to be honest, for now.
Yeah, they're both great. Puma's doing a great job at the moment.
Yeah, they are. And 200 euros. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Pavel Stanchuk. Hello, my friends. What do you think? Which football boots could be better for a similar price as the Adidas Copa Sense 0.2 for wide feet? Thank you for your advice. Pavel, I would go, or however you say, it's a Polish name, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. Please spell it out in a phonetic way next time so you can say it right. But I would definitely go for some of the Puma 0.2 boots, maybe the Ultra 0.2s, which are actually solid.
Yeah, they're not bad. I just think that when you're comparing that to Copa Sense Point 2, it's a very different type of upper in terms of feel.
What about the Legend 8 Pros?
Legend 8 Pro would be good. Legend 8 Academy is solid. I personally don't see like Copa Sense Point 3 and Sense Point 2. While Sense Point 2 is a little bit better, I don't think it's a lot better. So even saving the little bit on the Point 3 wouldn't be bad. And then if you're after a leather boot, which I'm assuming that's kind of the idea if you're after a Copa, Nike Premier 2 is always a good shout, especially for a wider foot because you're going to get that stretch out of the leather.
Yeah. I just don't think their tooling for the Premier 2 is very good. It just feels so loose and flappy. Fix it, Nike. But there's also the King Pros, which are really good for the money. I would say
even you could probably find a King Platinum on sale for that kind of money as well.
Most likely, yeah. Yeah, lots of good options, to be honest. We have Darby Yank just commenting on the Morelli Wave. Morelli Wave is great. I've worn it quite a lot since the podcast we did, and it keeps getting better and better. And you are rating it really highly, right?
Yeah, I love it. That's for me. If I could pick any pair of football boots that are currently available, that's what I'm picking.
Oh wow,
I really like them. Yeah,
I know we've talked about it, but now that we've had a bit of time to digest, would you go for that or the Wave Cup Legends?
We talked
about it back then, but what are your thoughts now?
No, I like the latest release. I like the sole plate and the stud pattern a little bit better. I like the more solid feel that it has. Not that the Wave Cup Legends are bad, because I would be very happy to wear them as well. But I really like what they've done with this Morelli Wave.
So guys, what Josh is telling you is that he has massive recency bias, but it's okay. It's okay. We still like it.
A little bit recency bias.
I would go for the Wave Cup Legends. I love the Morelli Waves, but the Wave Cup Legends just a little bit more nimble. And you know me, I like my boots nimble. So, but the Waves are great. Absolutely amazing. We have Paul Anderson. Question: why have pros stopped wearing long sleeve jerseys? Most just wear spandex under their shirt sleeves, like your boy JayMike. Ronaldo has even stopped, except with Portugal. Are brands phasing out long sleeve jerseys? Now, I can't give you a 100% correct answer, but I think it has to do with, cost management. The brands are looking into not making as many long sleeve shirts. And also because wearing spandex or base layer, as you say, is just for me at least more comfortable because it wicks away sweat. It gives you a little bit of compression. I personally prefer it to wearing long sleeves because it's a little bit tighter to the body. Feels like it makes you feel a bit more ready than wearing long sleeve shirts. But then again, I think it's a very personal opinion, but I think the rise of base layer has proven such a nice alternative to long sleeves that it's what most players wear. What do you say?
Yeah, look, I think from a brand perspective, it makes way more sense for any of the kit manufacturers to just offer the short sleeve and then also sell you the base layer that's long sleeve as well. I think it's just a much harder sell, a long sleeve shirt, because most people are buying it and they want the versatility of it. And if you can't, a long sleeve you have to wear when it's a little bit cooler. And I feel like a football shirt in general is very much viewed as like a summer type of apparel. Right. So it's a hard thing for brands to sell. So for them to invest in having all this extra inventory and long sleeve variations that very few people are ultimately going to buy, it's just, they view it as unnecessary.
Shirt. I mean, I think it looks cool. The right shirt and long sleeve, it looks very cool. But hey, I wouldn't wear one today personally. We also have one from Zachary O. Hey guys, I have a question that's eating at me. When did the whole authentic versus replica jersey distinction start? Did brands always make a different version for players? I can't seem to find much info about it online, and maybe you guys could talk about it on the Boot Nerd Show. So we're gonna. Probably not to the length that you want us to talk about it, but I don't remember exactly when it started, but I think it was around maybe. I know that they were doing player versions back at least in 2002. I have seen player versions go back that far. Nike did that for the Brazil team, at least in 2002, the World Cup. I'm not sure about earlier. That's a little bit before I started getting into to football gear. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did it earlier. I think it's around 2000, 2002 is the earliest I have seen. I don't know about you.
I was going to guess early 2000s, late 90s. Because again, 2002, the Brazil kits, I remember seeing some of those being a little bit different. And I'm sure you can find player issued shirts that had some kind of custom tailoring or something special done to them. But as far as like you can buy a replica, an authentic version, I would say somewhere in the early 2000s is when that became a more mainstream thing.
But could you buy the authentic versions as a consumer back then? Because I was thinking it was mostly around, I want to say 2000 and was it 10 that Adi had those tech fit shirts that you could buy. Yeah, that was probably 10, right?
Yeah, it was. I want to say that was probably when it became like readily available because they really made a big deal out of buying a player issued version of the shirt. But again, it's like it hasn't been that long. I think the age of social media has changed things a little bit because people, it's easy to tell a story about a shirt material or a shirt construction, where I think when you go back to pre-social media, pre-Instagram in the early 2000s, late 90s, and I don't think there's that many people that are going to get hyped about a special weave to the Nike shirt this year.
Yeah.
You know?
But back in 2002, they had those, we all remember that Brazil template. And the bottom part had extra ventilation. And they had that extra inner layer for ventilation. It was wildly different shirt to what we could buy. Very interesting.
I actually have one. I'm looking at one right now.
Should
I grab it?
Yeah, grab it. Go
just for fun.
Like the authentic one?
No, it's not. I don't think it's an authentic one. You tell me.
Well, I mean, this is the Bootnerds podcast, so we're technically not supposed to know anything about it. But hey, I mean.
Had this for forever.
Yeah. Can you pull up that looks like that's the replica. Definitely.
Yeah.
Can you turn it inside out? No, bottom part.
The bottom part.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the replica. That's definitely the replica.
It would have been, yeah.
That bottom part and the stuff under the sleeves was a lot more that was mesh, that was a lot more ventilating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is some mesh there.
Perforated, that's the word.
Yeah.
Perforation.
Cool shirt though.
Perforation for perspiration. Huh?
Yes.
We also have a pretty good question here. The last question of the day from Oluka Natale. Can we get a top 5 Mizuno boots from each of you, including the remakes?
Oh man.
And this is going to be 2 girls over drinks, and I can go first.
Okay.
Because I've actually had time to think about it.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a dirty move on you. I'm pulling a fast one here, but I'll give you some time to just think about it. Now, off the top of my head, I would say, let's start from number 5. The Morello Wave, really appreciated. The Replica Cups, which I didn't like as much as the 3 in the beginning, but I have come to appreciate the quality and softness of that leather. It's amazing. Okay. The Morello Ultralight, number 3, because it is one of the most comfortable boots I have ever worn. I was thinking about that or the Zeros, but I like the Ultralights a little bit more.
Okay.
Number 2, this is highly controversial, but the Wave Cup Legends. Because I think that the Neo 3 Beta Japans are just a level above everything else. Wow. So, Neo 3 Beta Japan, Wave Cup Legend, Morello Ultralight, Replica Cup, Morello Wave.
In no particular order.
In 1 to 5.
Oh, that was 1 to 5.
That was 1 to 5. Yeah.
Okay.
You can give them to me in.
I have no order right now. I really have to think about that. But I would be. My list is pretty different from yours, I think.
No, but that's because you have a pretty different foot and different preferences.
Yeah, and I'm really picking based on what I enjoyed wearing the most.
Sure.
So, Morello Wave for sure is on that list. Wave Cup Legend for sure on that list. I loved Wave Ignitus 1. And Wave Ignitus 2 is kind of the... kind of the same thing. I love that boot. Visually, it's so cool. I love the way it feels. I have to have just a made in Japan Morelia 2. I think is so good. Okay. It's so underrated.
So
and then
the new one? Like
the new one.
Yeah.
Latest one is good. And look, Morelia Zero is great. The Ultralight's great as well. But they're all kind of variations of the same thing anyways. And surprise, I don't have a Neo on my list because I as much as I like the current Neo, and it's so good, and I think the Morelia Neo 2 Beta was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in a pair of football boots.
What about that?
I love those. Those are so cool. They surprised me on there. I think they're an honorable mention for me. But you know what I really, really enjoyed and I spent a lot of time wearing back when it came out was the Supersonic Wave.
Yeah, that's a good boot as well.
I loved that boot. So that's what came to mind. So I'm going to pick that.
What was it called? That black, and that was the Ghost Striker, right?
I never had a pair of those with the big lace cover like an F50.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's not what I'm thinking one.
There was that.
Yeah, it was the Ghost Striker with that was a synthetic leather rubber.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
I think another really underrated one was the leather version of the Basara. Was actually quite good.
I never ever owned a pair of those, and I really want a pair. They look so good. They look so good.
Those are quite good.
But I'm gonna take a guess here and say that if you had to rank the boots, it would be the Wave Ignitus on top, right? Just because you're that guy, and you know.
I think so.
You have this image in my head liking stupid chunky boots.
Yeah, in my head that's what I think, but I would realistically have to go back and play in a pair again because I haven't done so in a long time and really make a judgment call from there. But that would be my top 6, I guess, because again, that Neo 2 Beta, sick boot.
I'm surprised it's not on your list, to be honest. Top 5. I'm actually surprised. I thought that would be right up there.
And you know what?
The face you made in Japan when we were there, it was like I've never seen you. You know, usually you're the type of guy who is, I don't want to say you're not expressionless, but you're just hard to like really impress, and you know, hard to get to like emote in a very strong way, if that makes sense, right? Those boots, having watched your videos for freaking ages, that was the wildest reaction I've seen from you to any football boot ever. Yeah,
because you know, I think I might have told the story on the podcast, but that was a couple of years ago now.
Oh, you worked in a soccer store?
No. Oh, do you remember that day? Because we were shooting together that whole day.
Oh yeah.
And I think we were wearing the Rebula 3.
Yeah,
all day. And look, super comfortable boot. But when you're running around in football boots for 4 or 5 hours at that point, it was hot outside. Oh yeah, you're just ready to take them off, and it's like, oh my gosh, I have to start with a fresh pair and record for another 4 or 5 hours. No way. But I put them on my feet, and it was like this sensation of relief that I just wasn't expecting, and I was just so surprised. I've never worn a boot that thin and light that was as comfortable as the Morelia Neo 2 Beta.
It's a great boot, and I think it could also, you know, if it hadn't been for the Morelia 3 Beta Japans, I think the 2s, which are also very special, would deserve a shout of being there. Yeah. Very, very good. Very good. So if you can get your hands on a pair, go and try that. They're extremely unique. One of the best thin boots why is that not on my list? But the Beta 3s are better. They're better overall. I rate them more than but Jay, on the other hand.
Yeah. It's like
one of the Beta boots. 2 or 3, I would take both of them as my number 1. Can I say that? I can say that. You
could say that. That's fine. It's like the argument of like Hypervenom Phantom 1 versus any other version of the Hypervenom. Any other version was probably objectively better. But it didn't have the experience of the 1.
Well, you say every other version of the Hypervenom?
Besides the first version of the 2.
Yeah. Yeah,
that one was rough.
That's like taking, let's think of a bad Mizuno boot. That's difficult, but I can't do that. Anyways, that was all we had for today. A little bit of we talked more today and had less boots to show, but we're going to make amends. There's going to be, obviously, the usual flurry of stuff coming in when the Euros end. New season's kicking back in. I'm very excited for that, and you should be as well. There's going to be a lot more stuff to talk about on the Boot Nerds podcast. But until then, leave us all your questions and thoughts in the comment section right down below. Of course, if you have liked the video, please leave us a thumbs up. It's going to help us spread the word to all the other boot nerds on the interwebs. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel with the notifications on already, you should totally go and I screwed that up. But you should totally go and do so, because that will mean that I will actually manage to finish a sentence without falling over the words, which would be nice for a change. Also, you can go and follow Josh's stuff over on his channel and follow me on Unisport over here. And with those words, I've been JayMike, and I approve this message. And I
Thanks for watching.
Apparently can't do an outro without stumbling. So, yeah.
You're doing great, Jay. You're doing great.
Thank you. English, it's a difficult language.